Good afternoon, this is Valkyrierunes Tarot. I'm going to be doing the air sign messages today. If you resonate with air sign messages, please feel free to stay and watch this video if you consent to having your energy read. This applies to Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius. If you have any of that in your sidereal or tropical big three and or your chart ruler, that's the sign that rules your rising sign. So for example, if you are an Aries rising, then you would check your Mars placement. I am going to be doing this message again as a general message, but love might be here. So if you consider having that energy read, feel free to stick around for air sign messages. As with any reading, please take what resonates, leave the rest. Today I'm going to be asking the question, what do the air signs need to hear? If you do not resonate with this message at all, I do have water and fire signs also uploaded if you have any of that in your chart or resonate with fire signs or water signs at all. So again, my main question is, what do the air signs need to hear right now? What do air signs need to hear right now? Okay. Three of Wands, first card. Just gonna put that right there. What else do the air signs need to hear? Okay. We got three cards that came out. That's interesting. That doesn't happen that often. So we have the Five of Wands, the Nine of Wands, and we have the Lovers. It's Gemini energy. First three cards are fire sign energy, which I think is very interesting to get in an air sign reading. So you might have fire placements, or if you are interested in seeing this as a love reading, then this is possibly about your person if you're dealing with a fire sign. Okay. We have the Star. Sorry, let me show you the Star. Okay. So that's interesting. The Star is Aquarius energy. So Gemini and Aquarius energy in this reading. I'm going to check the bottom and the top and the middle as I did with the other readings. We have the Page of Cups on the top. The middle is the King of Wands. And then we have Four of Cups on the bottom. I don't know why I smacked the deck, don't ask. All right, and if you're wondering the reason why I've been checking the top, middle, and bottom cards, the bottom cards are what I intended for the reading, but for the first reading I did, I felt called to check the top and middle, and now I've been doing it so nobody feels left out. Everyone's getting that checked. It's not really intentional in the reading, but I felt like maybe you guys wanted me to do it for your signs as well. So air signs, this is your message. We have a lot of fire energy here, but also a lot of air energy. So you could have fire signs in your personal placements. That's Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius. I also did a message for Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius. If you want to see that video, it is uploaded. But I feel as though there is a very strictly romantic message here. It's not just because of the Lovers, but the Four of Cups kind of gives it away for me as well. The Four of Cups is not really what I personally would want to see in a love reading, but we will be getting into what the air signs need to hear. I'm going to read it in a general sense, but also lean into that romantic aspect. So because we got the Three of Wands and the Five of Wands, the Nine of Wands, and the Lovers that just kind of like all wanted to come out together, we're going to talk about the Three of Wands first of all. What I'm kind of seeing here is that this has been a long time coming, whatever you guys have going on. Air signs, Gemini, Aquarius, and Libra, you guys have something going on right now that you've known for a while is heading your direction. It's something that you might have suspected happening, or you kind of saw little bits of things happening here and there. Now you're kind of like, okay, it's finally starting to fall into place. This is something that's been problematic for you. Let's just say that. I'm not going to sugarcoat this here. To me, this energy with the Five of Wands being conflict, usually difficulty, things not fitting in where they should be, and then the Nine of Wands being kind of like rising up to an occasion, or at least shutting something out. It feels like you or someone in your life said, put up or shut up. And it feels like it caused some sort of anomaly or some sort of argument, something. And I say anomaly because I feel like this was unexpected and yet at the same time expected. I feel like because of this Three of Wands, it was a long time coming, but no one expected either one of you to finally speak up. And this speaking up aspect could have been speaking up to say, I don't want to deal with you anymore. Or the speaking up could have been, fine, I'll do it. And so it could have been just as easily someone ending a relationship or someone rising up to have the relationship you've been wanting. I don't get that this was demanded. I get the feeling that you have been asking for this from the universe. I feel like you've been asking the universe to stop the bullshit, essentially. And I know that's crass, and I tend to be very crass, but I definitely feel like there is something in love that's going to be coming your way. And I don't think it's always pertaining to romantic love. I think it could just be self-love. It could be um, love from friends. It could be something that you've pretended. And I feel like that's the energy here. You've been kind of pretending you don't want this, but for a long time, you've been questioning it. You've been thinking about it. You've been reflecting on it. So I feel like that's something you've been wanting for a long time. And it's something that you deserve and something that's pretty much fated to you. Something you've been wanting, this connection that you already kind of had. It could have been like a friends with benefits situation, that you've always felt this like deep romantic, like this maybe even like a soulmate level connection. But it's, I think with this Four of Cups being down here, I feel like that's kind of saying like both of you were kind of being stubborn because you thought you were good enough on your own. Now the universe is kind of saying like, just because you're good enough on your own doesn't mean you don't have to want what's in front of you. Just because you know what you have is good. And just because you're fine on your own and you don't need it doesn't mean you don't have to want it. You can still want something just because you don't need it. And I'm doing the quote marks because people tend to misinterpret love as being a want, not a necessity. But I think everybody needs to be loved at some point, whether it's romantic, whether it's intimate, whether it's friendship. It's a type of love that you felt all along, and it's definitely the one that you've already had in your atmosphere, and it's definitely going to start getting the confirmation that you've been wanting out of it. Now, of course, I did say I was going to read this in a general sense as well and not just in a romantic sense, but I feel like that's coming into clear with the Lovers and the Star. The Lovers can be multiple things, but because it's followed by the Star, it's just feeling like a long time waiting. It feels like a frustrating time that is finally getting its solution. It's finally getting its clarity. And this Four of Cups just tells me, like, you really didn't ask for this outright. This isn't something that you confess to this person and now they're saying, okay, let's be together. This is something that you both secretly kind of wanted, pretend you didn't want to happen. So I get the energy from this Four of Cups, like, oh, for me, you shouldn't have, but all along, like, it wasn't really a surprise to you. It's like pretending to be surprised when someone shows up with a gift for your birthday. Like, you know that people know you want it, but you just pretend that you're a bad bitch and you don't need it. So I'm kind of feeling like, on a general perspective, very general perspective, this is something that you've been wanting a long time. I still feel like there's something that has longevity to it, but it's been a conflict. Now, in a very general sense, this is still reading as something that you've either had to put up or shut up about, or something that you've decided it's either rise up to the occasion or leave me the fuck alone. And I definitely feel like this could still be a connection. It doesn't have to be romantic, but in a general sense, it still feels like some sort of connection that was fated to have some sort of designated answer to. Like, it's either way, it's getting a solution. And I think that with this Four of Cups on the bottom, I feel like the overall energy is your guides are asking you, and this is what you need to hear, your guides are asking you that if you want a solution to this situation, you definitely have to stop being in your Four of Cups energy. You have to stop pretending you don't want something that you clearly do. You have to stop acting like you're good enough without it. Because you can be fine without something, but don't act like you're too good for the thing that you secretly want, because that can backfire on you. And I feel like that's kind of what your guides are saying, that that's why things have been so frustrating for you lately, or just overall. If you've been frustrated, if you've been struggling, I feel like that's the main cause, is acting like you're too good for something that you really desperately needed, that you really desperately wanted, but you pretended that you didn't need or want it because you were afraid of being vulnerable to it. You were afraid that it was going to backfire on you by just wanting it. Wanting something is not dangerous. It's really just about what you're doing to get the thing that you want. So, and I apologize if you hear my roommates, but I feel like there's just that energy here that you need to be okay with wanting the things you want, because if you aren't open to that, if you just keep shutting yourself down and shutting out and saying like, I'll just move on and want something else because you don't want to deal with you don't want to be patient, you don't want to deal with the process of things, it's going to actually cause more problems for you, because I feel like this is something you were destined to have anyway. And you need to be okay with accepting that. You need to be okay with saying, you know what? I do want this and I do deserve it, because you know it's yours. It is yours to have if you want it. So even in a general sense, romantic or not, this is yours. So regardless of what this applies to or how you resonate with this, I hope that it resonates for at least one of you, and I hope you take my message and listen to it well. I want to reflect back on, I know I said I wasn't going to count these, but this Page of Cups along with, what was the middle card again? I'll go find it again. I believe I said it was a King of Wands. Yeah, it was a King of Wands in here. It's that stubbornness of acting like you don't want something. That Page of Cups with the King of Wands. It's acting like, you know, that vulnerability of the Page of Cups mixed with the King of Wands and this Four of Cups is telling me that you need to kind of get out of this energy that you don't actually need it or don't actually want it, because you can't stop yourself from wanting something. You can't stop yourself from feeling like you need something or that you crave something in your life, regardless of what it is, whether it's love, whether it's a job, whether it's something that you're just very passionate about. You deserve to have the things that you want, that you've worked hard for. And I think that this is something that it's pretty much been owed to you, whether it's romantic or not. It's something that you're aligned with. I see this card here. The Lovers doesn't always mean alignment with a person, but in this interpretation, the art tells me that with this, the animals, the people looking deeply into each other's eyes, it feels like alignment. And it feels like with the star, it feels like an alignment that you know that you were destined to have. And it's okay to want it. And it's okay to vocalize the fact that you want it. Don't hide from what you want just because you're afraid. That's the main message here, what you need to hear. If you don't resonate with this message, of course, there are other messages that I've uploaded. If you don't resonate with any of my messages, of course, I still upload messages every week. Thank you for listening, and I hope that things go very well for you. I hope that this resonates for you. I wish you guys all the best, and good luck.